Hey guys, it's Chris back here again with another episode of Brawl. Here in Magic the Gathering, we are working with a Galazeth deck. And I have been brewing this deck for a few days now, and it's still not quite up to snuff. But I figured I'd give it a go, see how things went. And we ended up continuing our ominous record of having 2 games per episode. And, neither game quite goes as I would have liked, but our first opponent is Galazeth the Ink Duelist. That's not how you say his first name, but he is the Ink Duelist, and he is a heavy removal brawl deck where you get him down, and then all your terrible spells that cost 4-5 mana that target creatures suddenly become really good. So you can just jam a bunch of awful removal, and because he's on the battlefield, it goes from awful removal to above the curve removal, and it gets really scary, to be honest. Anyway, they have their commander down. We have not played anything yet, because we didn't want to get an early drop down and then just get it dead. This deck probably could use a... I don't know. I think it's running both Wraths still, but we just never see them. Galazeth comes down. We don't really care if he dies because he can be replaced. Up to 2 treasures. He is really good with treasures. Fortunately, we don't have a lot of instants or sorceries that we'd be willing to cast with him yet. Because there are 2 ways you could take a Galazeth deck. You could take it in the Spellslinger direction, or you could take it in the combo direction. And I'm closer to the combo because I'm running a lot of other creatures. We have a Dwarf Subzine, so that we can make a lot of treasures. So they're about the best way to make treasures. Then we have a few dragons that make treasures. Got things like Terror the Peaks to help close out games. And it's technically a combo piece. Say Grinning Ingus Bergi and Terror the Peaks win the game. There are other combos too. I don't think any of them necessarily fall into the blue-red category. If we get down Terror of the Peaks, it's probably going to die, but we can't really do anything about that. We opt out of spending our 2 treasures to get down a 7 dwarfs. 7 dwarfs aren't going to help us in this category unless we have more than one of them. And Giant Killer comes down. But it doesn't come down, it kills our creature. Opponent swings in for 9 here. We take 4 more from Vito. That's pretty much game. No, we take 9 total, don't we? Either way, we're down to 4. We cannot win. Don't have anything in the graveyard worth returning. So we do some careful research. Discard our draw 7. And that's what we got. We concede. And we'll be moving on to game 2. 4 minutes in, first game down. About average considering this series of brawl games. So we take a few moments to reflect. And we just push through. Gonna see if we can get our second game in and do a little bit better than we did with our first one. We have a lot more time left in the video, so I assume we're going to do a little bit better. But you guys don't know that yet. We're up against another Silver Quill deck. This one's led by the Dean as opposed to the Legendary Student. We keep 7. Start off with a tap land. The campus of the college that we're representing, actually. They also start with a tap land. And the white side of the dean comes down. We opt for the legendary student of our college. 4/1 blocker is not bad for the ground. Although they'll probably be taking to the skies here. I honestly put her down because I assumed that she would get done in and that we wouldn't actually have any chance to use her. Which she does. It would have been nice to have her sit on the battlefield though, because with the return ability, it actually returns all the cards that are that card. So you can mutate onto her to get the return a spell from your graveyard to your hand, and then you can double up a spell using her return ability. Then you can mutate again in the future. Might be a little too cute / inefficient to actually be useful, but can't complain too much. So we discard the new cantrip card from Prismari. We have 4 mana left if we decide to cast an instant. We have 4 mana left regardless, but I want to keep the treasures around. Gotta be greedy with our treasure. So we return our spell that makes treasure, and we make a 2/2. That's fine. Shadrick's Silver Quilt comes down. Trying to decide what they're gonna do. We draw and lose a life, and they put +1/+1 creatures. Counted on their creatures. Makes sense. So we're not drawing too hot. So we want to draw a little bit more. We draw 7. And at the end of the turn we discard 5. Because drawing 7 at a full hand isn't actually a good idea. We keep our Snarl. Because who doesn't want to keep their Snarl? I want to put down another creature. 2/2 counter share with Death Touch. They attack in, we're not going to block. We take 12, so we're down to 10. That's not good for us. And then they can tap to add counters. So we're gonna go for this. Should have gone for 7, but we made more treasure. Our goal in this game of Brawl is to increase our own wealth. Nothing more to it. We pass the turn. We have 1 turn of blocking, and then it'll be the hour promise. We don't have a solution by then. It'll be game. Which is looking like it's going to be game. Only the Dragon Wrath could get us out of this, and we'd need to draw the Dragon Wrath and a big spell to put in our graveyard to make sure we could actually get everything off the board, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. Send our commander back to the command zone. They counter up the team. Aetherios gets some protection out. We're going to use Seagate Restoration here because we can't win, but we can draw more cards, which is technically a form of winning, even though that's not part of the rule set. Still didn't draw a Wrath. That's disheartening. We drew Sublime Epiphany. That's like a little Rubbins card for the way out. That should be good enough. So, we've lost 2 games with our Galazeth. Sad times. Sad times. They try to do something. We try to stop it. That is the aim of our game. Unfortunately for us, the game is over at this point. They will attack in, we will die. Sad times, but I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and remember to build a better Galazeth deck than I did. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.